Hey everybody, my name is Rhiannon, and if you're watching this, then that means you decided to stick around and watch my progress. So I'm excited that you're here. This video, I feel like I learned from the last one, and I went ahead and condensed it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is show you the process on just a couple of the nails. Now this is the first time I've ever used this practice hand, and I did it on camera, so it's a little bit awkward. But again, I'm learning. So I went ahead and seasoned my 150 grit sanding band by rubbing it on a regular file to smooth out the edges. Now I'm just going around and roughing up the nail plate. And this is also where I would be kind of cleaning up that cuticle. Now I'm taking Young Nails Protein Bond, and I'm going to put a coat of that on all 4 fingernails from cuticle to free edge. Once that dries, you put another coat of it on all 4 of the fingers as well. Now I'm using Young Nails Synergy Base Gel. Put a thin layer on that. Cure it for 30 seconds. Now I'm taking a nail form, putting the tab on the back of it, folding the ends together, and then I'm going to place it nice and flush with the natural nail. Now I'm using IBD builder gel in the color Natural 2. This gel is really thick and hard to use, but I really like the color, so I use it anyway. And right now I'm just going to put a relatively thin layer of that on the natural nail, and then I'll take a big scoop of it to put on the form right at the free edge of the nail. And the reason I do this is so that the layer that's on the nail is connected to the free edge, and once I cure it, I'll be able to take the entire nail form off without the nail breaking. So I'm going to put that gel there on the free edge, make sure it's connected to the sides, and then drag it down slowly. I do have to get another scoop because I decided to do a relatively long nail. And I'm just going to bring that all the way down to the edge, and then kind of smooth out the sides and make sure that it's where I want it and that it all goes up to the sides of the nail. Now I cure that for 30 seconds in the LED lamp. I'm going to go ahead and take that form off, and it's best to do that as soon as possible. That way the light can cure it from the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to take another scoop of that IBD builder gel, and I need another scoop of it because it's so hard to get out of the container. And I'm just going to wipe that off of my brush and get it into a ball there up by the cuticle and pillow it in around the cuticle. Once I have it nice and secure around the cuticle, I'm going to take my brush and start to drag it out, going from side to side. I'm going to go ahead and pick up another big scoop of that as soon as I get it nice and smooth around the sides. You guys can see how tricky this builder gel is to work with their clear color. It is so self-leveling and so easy to manipulate. So I cure this for 30 seconds, and now I got another scoop and I'm rolling that off of my brush where it ended before, and I'm trying to kind of blend it up into that previous section, and then I'll start to drag it down towards the tip. Cure it for 30 seconds, and I need another scoop of product because I can see that I don't have enough product there yet. So again, I'll blend that up towards the top, try to keep it as smooth as I can, although I'm not super worried about it because I will just file it out and smooth it later. But if I can make less work for myself, then of course that's what I'm gonna try to do. So just smoothing it out the best I can. I'm gonna go ahead and add another scoop right there because there still isn't quite enough. Go ahead and cure that in the light for 30 seconds. I'm going to turn it to the side here so I can show you the arch. So that's what it's going to look like when you have plenty. I went ahead and put it back in the light to give it a final cure of a full minute. As you can see on the pointer finger, I already went and did that. On these two fingers, they're going to be the accent nails. They're going to be the dimensional nails. And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do yet. So I wanted to go ahead and put the natural color on the nail beds so that whatever I ended up doing, it would be a nice pretty color all the way up. So I'm just taking a scoop of that IBD builder gel and putting a nice even layer along that nail bed. I go ahead and cure that in the light for 30 seconds. Now I've put a nail form on, and now I am taking a good healthy scoop of the IBD builder gel in the clear color, and you can see that's such a smooth consistency and way easier to work with. I'm making sure that it matches up to the side walls, and then I'm going to kind of blend it up a little bit over the top of that natural nail again, so that whenever I remove that form, it won't break off. I'm showing you now how thin that free edge is. Now we're taking Young Nails Aquamarine Manicure, and I'm just going to kind of paint it on there. No real rhyme or reason. Put a couple different stripes in there, and then I'm going to take the Young Nails yellow manicure color, and I'm going to place that in a couple places. I didn't want it to be completely covered, so I'm taking my gel brush and I wiped it off on a lint-free wipe, and I'm just wiping away a little bit of the color. And I'm going to cure that in the light for 30 seconds. Now I've got some really pretty green fine glitter that I'm just sprinkling on the nail kind of randomly. I don't want to completely cover the nail with it because, I'm not going for a full covered glitter nail. I want it to be dimensional. So here's some silver glitter that I'm taking my brush with, and I'm just going to tap it on at different places around the nail as well. I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds just to make sure that glitter is nice and secure. I'll take a scoop of that clear builder gel again and put a nice thin layer all over the nail. I wanted to put some Mylar in the nail, and I know I have some somewhere, but I could not find it. But I found these pretty green stars. So I'm just going to take some of those using my gel brush and put them on there one at a time. Again, no real rhyme or reason, just placing them on there. And I'm going to take a little bit more of that silver glitter and put that back on there as well. And I'm going to go ahead and cure that out for 30 seconds. Now I'm putting another layer of the builder gel on there so that I can put my next pieces in there. And I've got some silver foil leaf, I think is what it's called. And I'm just going to take a piece of that on my brush and put it on the nail. It's kind of a bigger piece and I don't want just a big blob of it. So once I set it down, I can take my brush and kind of move it around, and that'll break it up and I can place it where I want it. Now I've also got some gold foil leaf, and I'm going to just do the exact same thing. And now I'm going to put that in the light for 30 seconds. Now I'm getting a nice big scoop of the clear builder gel. I'm going to go ahead and roll it off my brush there at the top and pillow it into the cuticle area. And then since it is a long nail, I am going to have to go ahead and get another scoop. I just connect that to the ball of gel I already have on the nail and bring it down kind of in a U-shaped motion from sidewall to sidewall until I get all the way down to the tip. Then I'll cure that in the light for 30 seconds. Now I already did the other nail as well. You can see I just sort of did the tip on that one, and you can still see some of the nail up by the cuticle. I'm just taking some alcohol on a lint-free wipe and cleaning off that dispersion layer. Now I'm taking my e-file. I want to guess a speed of about 15,000 RPMs, but my e-file doesn't have a screen to tell me where it's at or anything, so I just sort of guess. I'm showing you now how I am taking the 5-in-1 bit, and I'm just going across the top of the nail and establishing the arch, or the apex rather. Now I'm taking it underneath and trying to take off any that might have went below the sidewall. I want to make sure those are nice and even, so I'm going to clean that a little bit with the e-file. This hand was really frustrating. The nail kept kind of like sliding down and I kept having to fix it. But now I'm just looking down the barrel and I'm blending it in from side to side, trying to smooth it out as best as possible and get any big bumps off. But because it was giving me such a hard time, I ended up just going ahead and grabbing my hand file to do a lot of it with. It seemed a little bit easier to hold that nail in place whenever I was working with the hand file. So here I'm using a McCart file and the grit is 100/100, and I'm just taking that and completely smoothing it out. I'm going around the cuticle, I'm going around the sides of the nail. You'll also see me going kind of see, it keeps coming loose. You'll see me going kind of vertically on the tip to really thin out the very end of it, so it's a nice and thin nail. One of the biggest things that helped me whenever I was learning how to file nails is any shiny spot that you see whenever you're filing, because see, right now the nail is mostly matte. There's a couple places though where it's still a little bit shiny, and so I know that shiny spot isn't being touched by the file, therefore the nail isn't completely smooth. So I just keep going over that spot until you can't see it anymore, and then you know that you have a smooth surface. So now I'm showing you the side view. It has a nice arch, and I'm going to go ahead and clean up the sides of it again and really bring the bottom of that nail nice and vertical to where the side wall is. And that's really the trick to getting a nice slim looking nail is, bringing that up, because it's really deceiving. The nail can be, and it'll look a lot wider than it really is if it has any hanging spots. So now I'm just getting the other side as well. So now I'm just going to go over it one last time. You see me really struggling with the end of this finger. And I'm just going to clean up the edges of the nail. And now here I've gotten all of them done. I'm taking my clean manicure brush and spraying it with some rubbing alcohol to go ahead and clean off all that dust and debris. That's my hand fanning it, so it'll go ahead and dry. And then I'm taking Young Nails Protein Bond and putting a even layer of that from cuticle to free edge, and that's just going to ensure that any paint that you put on there, any gel polish or any top coat, it's going to make sure that that doesn't chip or flake. I'm taking that Aquamarine color from Young Nails and I'm going to apply that to the pinky and the pointer fingernails. Now I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. I'm going to put a second coat of that Young Nails Aquamarine. I'll cure that for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to use the Young Nails Manicure top coat for all 4 of the fingers, and then I'm going to cure for 30 seconds. Now I cure that for a full minute. I take some alcohol on a lint-free wipe and wipe off that sticky layer. I'll put some Young Nails cuticle oil and we're all done. Thank you guys for sticking around and being a part of my journey. I'm really enjoying learning how to record and take pictures and most of all do nails. I hope to share more of my cosmetology journey with you as well, and I'll see you on the next one.